Hi class, this is Russ. So this is the next installment of my Module 1 mini lecture for working with the Java bag. And so in the previous videos, I talked briefly about um, what it's meant by the interface, the bag interface, and we talked also about implementing the bag interface in the form of uh, an array bag. And so an array bag is simply an array of items, in this case T, generic items T, that will be inserted into the bag. And so the array bag implements the bag interface. And so it's basically going to be a preset array containing class objects. And the objects we defined were basically boutique items. And each boutique item is defined by an item name and an item price. And so the boutique itself is nothing more than uh, an array bag. And in the boutique, we will add an item, remove all of the items, or remove a specific item. We can check to see if the boutique is empty. We can convert the array bag, which is the boutique, into an array of objects. And this would be useful for printing. So I'll discuss more about this when we talk about the driver, which is the topic of this video. And we can get the size, the number of elements in the boutique, and of course we can have a print string. Now, before we proceed with the driver, there is one thing we'll need to know, and that is if we are searching for, um, if we intend to search for a given item in the array bag or the boutique. And in order to search, we need to be able to compare two items, a given item in the bag with each item in the bag to make sure that we can find a particular item in the bag that matches a certain criteria. So we need an equals method for this class, boutique items, which are the things that we stuff into the bag. And in order to do that, we can go into the source tree like so, and accentuate the class, highlight the class, okay, and then go to source, and then if you do right here, generate hash code and equals, this will automatically generate an equals method for you so that you can compare two boutique items. And you'll see machine generated code right here. Okay, so right here, very nicely generated, so you don't have to go around and worry about having to write your own equals method. And this is a very robust equals method. It does all the checks that maybe perhaps you didn't anticipate in having to write your own. So here we have, and don't worry about the hash code method at this level. Okay, so I'll delete this. I had done it previously and I wanted to show you how that works. So you can do that. Okay. All right, so here we have, okay, so we've got our class already set up. So now it's on time to work with the driver, the boutique driver. Okay, I believe at this level we pretty much have all of the functionality in the interface specified in the implementation of the interface done. We have the class defined, and we have the boutique, which is the container for all of, which is the bag, basically the bag which will hold all of the items. The items being boutique items. Okay, all right. So let's advance to the driver. So okay, so in the driver, we want to, of course, exercise as much of the functionality as possible. So my thoughts are, and again, you don't have to do it this way. So let's So we'll need I'll call it the boutique driver class. And in this class, we'll be prompting users for um, the names of the items to go into the bag as well as the prices of those items. So since prices are of monetary format, we'll format the uh, the input numbers as currency. So the prompt, the interactive prompt will need scanner, right? And to format the currency, we'll need text, the Java text package library. Okay, so we need, of course, a public static void main string args. Okay. Now we need to decide what the driver structure will be. And so what I thought we could do is we could have a sort of a looping action. So I've already worked out the details, so I'll just paste it here and we'll discuss. So here we go. It's a character-based interface. Okay, I'm not using graphical user interfaces. All right, so here the boutique is the array bag. Okay, the boutique, and so this is the container that will hold the items that go into the bag. This Boolean is a prompt and a while loop that, in other words, I'm going to be looping indefinitely, prompting users to enter items into the bag, remove items from the bag, um, check if the bag is full, and print the contents of the bag. So this is the sentinel which terminates this infinite loop. And then, of course, this is the scanner in is the prompts users for input data, and then the item name is a string that holds the name of the item that you're going to put in the bag, and then the item cost. All right, so here's my header. Basically, the choices that the user will be prompted for would be to add an item to the bag, remove, print the bag, check if the bag is full, or quit. Okay, and so prompt user for one of these sentinels. And then, okay, so in the case of A is a request to add item to the bag. And so you will enter the name of the item and then enter the cost of the item. Okay, and so since the cost is allocated as a double, you have to check for invalid numeric types. And if it's an invalid numeric type, basically you exit this case and then go back to the while loop, start all over again. Okay, and oh, notice that I'm using a switch statement. Okay, so I'm switching on the type of input, whether it's A, R, P, C, or Q. Okay, and so we need an add item method. Okay, and so the add item, of course, is the item right here. Here's the object. Okay, I call the non-default constructor for boutique items right here, and then I also pass in the, uh, the array bag, which is boutique. And so I've already developed the details for the add item. So I'll go ahead and paste that method here. So I'll paste it right here before the main. Here's the add items. Okay, so basically right here, this is the array bag, and I'm calling the add method from the array bag. I'm passing the object that I want to add to the bag, and then once it's added, assuming it is, remember from the previous video I stated that if the add method returns a Boolean, and either it's added or it's not, and if it's added successfully, I just print out added the items with its name and its price and a count of the number of items right here, current size in the boutique. Otherwise, I'll print out a message saying unsuccessful adding. So that's pretty straightforward. The other thing we can do, duplicate. So I have too many. Oh, do. Shouldn't have put it here. Sorry. Take that out. I didn't copy it properly. Let me copy it again. Add boutique items. I need to put this logic here. I think I went too far. It's showing as an error. make a couple adjustments here. Sorry, I got out of sync here. Sorry. Okay, put the add method up here. Control Z. Sorry, I'm not. Copy my add method again. I must have made a copy error. Okay. All right, so here's our add method. Okay, now, so the next thing we need to deal with, so that checks off this case, the remove case. So we want to remove a specific item from the bag. And again, we prompt the user for the name of the item and the and the uh, and the cost of the item. Okay, and so I need this remove item method. So again, I've already implemented the details of the remove item, which is here. So I'll paste that in and show you. So I'll paste it on top here. So here's my remove item. Oops, I shouldn't paste it there. I should paste it above add item, right? Okay, right, there we go. Okay, so remove item. Again, what I do is attempt to remove. Here is the remove method. So again, in the previous video, we talked about removing a specific item from the array bag right here. And if it's found, it's removed. And then I print out a message printing the name of the item that was removed and the running size of the array bag or the boutique. If it is not removed, then I print out a message saying failed in attempt to remove item. Okay, so that's the remove functionality. And again, that's pretty straightforward. That didn't require too much work. Now, what's interesting is, I'll come back to the print in just a second, but let's check. We need to also check if the bag is full. Okay, so let me post that. And this one is pretty straightforward as well because it's already in our array bag. So check if full. All right. So, and the way I check it is, what I do is I declare a bogus item that go in the bag, and then I attempt to add it. Okay. And remember, add always returns a Boolean. It returns true if I was able to successfully add the item, and it returns false if I cannot add. So basically, if I add and it returns true, then I'll go ahead and remove the item, and then return a message saying it's not full, since I can add. Now, if I'm unable to add, then ostensibly the bag is full. Although this assumption may be a little bit weak, there could be other reasons why I'm unable to add. But making the assumption, since I didn't document my code, haha, I'll make the assumption that if I can't add, it's based only on the fact that it's full, although that may not be the case. So this is a very weak assumption. It's basically a quick check is full. There could be more rigorous work done to check is full. But if you wish to explore that further. Okay, so now let's go on to the print. That's a little bit tricky. So print the bag items. So I'll go ahead and paste it. Now, the way I print the bag items is I first convert my bag to an array. Okay, so I have to use the array. Now, looking at the toArray method in the array bag class, notice the way it works. Okay, I basically declare an array of objects. Okay, cast to the generic type T, which ostensibly is boutique items. Okay, and then what I do is I take my existing bag of items and I copy it into this allotted array. And this, again, as I alluded to earlier, is to avoid memory leaks and damaging your baseline boutique. This is basically a clone operation. And so I return that. Now, where things get tricky is that when I try to go into my boutique, which is the array of items, and implement the toArray method. Okay, notice that the way I deal with my toArray method. Okay, I'm in essence declaring a two-array method for this specific type of, see, the array bag is based on generics, okay? Generics. We don't know what T is, but the boutique array bag is a particular, it's no longer generic, it's specific. In other words, it's based on boutique items. But I can't put some, a lot of students make the mistake of putting boutique items here in the two array and they get all confused and they start sending out emails and complaining and so forth. No, your array method for this must be of type object, okay? And don't worry because the object is of type generic T, but generic T points to boutique items. So it kind of makes three levels away removed from the actual class. So use object. So the two-array method must return an object array. Okay, and so the boutique items calls the two-array method, which is found in array bag, and this in essence returns an array of objects, but the objects have the character and behavior of boutique items. Okay, all right. So a little bit of a something gotcha to look out for. So now we can discuss the print method. All right, so the print bag items. Okay, so again, I passed the boutique, which is the array bag of items, and I iterate. Here's my iterator. This is called my iterator, or kind of a quasi-iterator. It's not an iterator per se. And so what I do is, for each object that I pull out of the boutique array, okay. So B, this object B is, okay, so for each object B found in the array of objects of type boutique items, which are contained in the bag boutique, I know that's a mouthful. What I do is I declare a new object, boutique items, BI, and since B itself is an object, I typecast B as a boutique items. And then I just print out the boutique items using the toString method. So I don't think I discussed the toString method. So let's take a look at the toString method. Again, I did my own toString. And basically, I return item name, item price, and then the entered item price. Because, you could put something silly in for the item price, like 4 or 5 digits to the right of the decimal. So I'll put that in as a check. And then I'll format the price as a currency amount. So this is my toString, my print method. Basically, it iterates through the array and prints out the contents of each object. Okay, and with that, I think we are ready to exercise the function of this program. So what do? We hit the white arrow, right? The white arrow and the green circle. Okay. All right, so we can say add an item, right? And so the name of the boutique item will say shirt and say it costs $1.23. Okay, add another item. So let's say shirt, $1.23. Okay, so notice that I added 2 duplicate items, and they're shown up when I did the print. See, 2 duplicate items, and then I can add another item, say pants, and the pants will be $2.57. Okay, and then I can add another. I could say belt. Okay, and the belt is say 75 cents, and then I can add another item, say dress, and the dress is say $5.20. Okay, and so let's print. And so they're the items in the in the bag. We can check to see if the bag is filled, and of course it's not filled because the capacity was set to 25 items. What else can we do? Print the okay, remove an item. So let's say we want to remove the belt. All right, so remove an item. So belt. Okay, and so the cost. Okay, so there should not be an item called belt that costs $1 in the bag. And so you're attempting to read the contents. You are attempting to remove an item with name belt and price $1, and so it failed. Okay, so let's try and remove a 75-cent belt. So belt, 75 cents. Successfully remove the item. Okay, the boutique now has 4 items, and then we can print, and there are the 4 items. Okay, so I hope this gives you a perspective on how to proceed with this project, proceed with bag interfaces and testing out, implementations of the bag interface, writing a correct driver that tests the functions, being able to being mindful of how to convert things to arrays and to implement an equals method for objects. So this concludes my series of Module 1 mini video lectures. And if you have any questions about any of this content, by all means, please post.